welcome to another episode of Shooting
the Shit with Rachel
and Neal Young. So we're talking all things real estate photography business growth, mindset, and getting it done. Here come your favorite true entrepreneurs, Rachel and Neal Young, shooting the shit.
I have a ferret on the podcast. Like if we're kind of in a slump, like what kind of things do you do?
Talking about a boob light.
Straddling a power line.
Nice photo.
Ooh, I need that.
I'm like red right now because I'm embarrassed. I go like this. I love it.
Come in.
Sure, use your podcast voice.
You know, over here, I'm pitting out.
Drone's like flipping to the ground.
That's a great callback.
Chit-chatting.
Is that what you call that? Hey!
This episode is brought to you by my admin. Well, HD Photo Hub, which is basically like having an admin.
That's right. And it's not just a delivery platform. It's a powerhouse designed to make your work shine. From stunning teaser videos and social media reels to custom property websites and polished printable flyers, HD Photo Hub automates it all so you can focus on what matters, growing your business.
That's right. Welcome to the podcast. We are talking about things you thought your real estate agent knew, but they clearly don't know. So we're going to let you all know in case they also don't know. Now you know, Realtor.
What you don't know, if you don't know.
If you don't know.
Now you know, Realtor.
Realtor.
We may have changed that just a little bit to be PC.
Yeah, because we're very white. This idea came to me the other day just because it's the second time I've had to deal with an agent struggling and coming to dig into it a little bit further to find out the problem. I was like, really? You didn't know what that is? Wow. And basically let's just dive into this. But the realtor messaged me, hey, if you got some time, can you help me? Because I'm finding the process of downloading the photos and getting them in MLS very difficult and laborious. And I'm not sure if it's just me or whatever. And I'm like, huh? You know, and he's like, maybe you get this a lot. I'm like, nope. You know, so that was like, bing, big red flag right there. That was no like, I was okay, let's hop on a call, you know, because you try and text that one, you're never going to figure it out. You really got to get in a call and understand what's the process that specifically is happening. Because my first thought was, oh, he's probably just downloading the full size images and not the MLS size. And maybe that's like tanking the process and going too slow, or MLS is rejecting the files because they're too big. And that's what I first thought. No, that was not the problem. It might have been on one occasion for him. Even though it says MLS and HD Photo Hub and original, you know, I still have to explain to people, hey, original, don't even worry about it unless you're going to print something up and give somebody like a little print as a gift when they, sell their house or something like that. Then you can download the single original file you want. Outside of that, download the MLS ones, upload those. If you're only using it on MLS online, just use the MLS size. A lot of them don't even get that. Psst. Sorry to interrupt. If you haven't heard, Rach and I are using Pixl CRM.
Pixl CRM isn't just another boring tool. It's basically your business's best friend. With Pixl CRM, you can automate your lead generation, follow-ups, client communication, and stay top of mind with email campaigns. And there's just so much more.
And if you want, you can try it out today. Just go to pixlcrm.com/STS, and you're going to get the first month of Pixl CRM free. Now, the next part was, that he's like, no, I get them on this, but the whole process takes me a long time. And like, he's talking like hours. I'm like, tell me what's happening. And so basically what it came down to was I realized that he's like, I don't know how to get to the files. I keep trying to like open them and I only get small little previews, and like, that wasn't his wording, but you know, he was getting very small size images that he couldn't upload. So then he was like, I think he was doing some crazy process of like screenshotting them individually and then saving them. And I'm like, he did not understand the purpose and the concept and how a zip folder works, right? So when you download all the files at once, they all get compressed into a zip folder so that it can, go in your email or just be smaller to, make delivery online much faster, and or possible in some cases, if you don't do a zip folder, there's a limit on like email of like a certain file size. So with all those folders once, you wouldn't be able to like email it, for example. But he didn't understand that. So I had to layman's tell him, look, that's a zip file. It makes them all smaller temporarily. Like think of it as a package in the mail. And if you're trying to take that package and put it directly up to MLS, MLS is only seeing a box. You got to open the box first, you know what I mean, for it to know what's inside and take that stuff out and put it on your counter first. So like basically I had to explain to him, hey, you're going to open that file up. You're going to copy all your files. You're going to make a new folder on your desktop, label it like whatever the address is or something in a folder that's like my houses, and paste it there. Then when you go to MLS, find that folder. He was trying to pull it directly from the zip file, and that wasn't going to work because those files were compressed. But this is not something some people have ever had to deal with, a zip folder.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised. I've heard like very young people have that scenario because they've just not had like a business job where that was ever a thing, right? And then I've heard of older people who've never touched a computer in their life. But he's like middle of the road, our age. I was very surprised that he also didn't understand the zip folder process. Have you ever had that happen to any of your clients?
I have not had a problem with clients with zip files. However, I have had a problem with clients who call and they're like, it is so hard for me to download the photos from your site. And I'm like, I use HD Photo Hub. It has 2 different sections. You can download the MLS size files or the full size files. It is the easiest. You click the button of what you want and they literally download to your downloads folder. And a couple of these older clients that call they don't know where they go. I'm like, well, they're in your downloads folder. Like, well, when I go there, they're not there. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you because they should be. They're like, well, when I look, they're not in there. Wait, where's the download folder? And I'm like, okay.
Oh, boy.
You have a Mac or a PC. And then it's like, if you have a PC, I'm like, I can't help you. No, I know how to navigate that. But I'm like, go to Finder. Go to the downloads on the left. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they have gotten a listing. They've gotten this far in business. This isn't even like new people to the business. I honestly believe that they have hired other people to do these tasks for them for so long. And for some reason, they're having to do it themselves. Yep. And it's just overwhelming. Computers can be really frustrating to a lot of people. So it's just obnoxious to me. And I hate it because they blame me and my systems.
Right. Like our system is terrible. Yeah.
She goes, well, my other photographer just sends them to me on Dropbox and that's not a problem. But with you, every time I hire you, it's such a problem to download. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't know. I'm like trying to keep my cool because I'm like, it'd make it
What
so
have you done
easy.
on Dropbox? You have to download them from Dropbox still. So.
I'm like, okay, so when you download them from Dropbox, where do you get them from? The downloads folder, same place. Anyways, that's my rant on that. And I've had
it's true.
you like that have.
Yeah, I've had that. Yeah, and I have had that. The older clientele I had, she last worked for a brokerage, and she had a problem with the zip files. She never touched one in her life, and she had been in real estate like 20 years because her old brokerage, they had an admin that managed all of that stuff, created the listings for them. They never touched it, so she's never like had to deal with anything like document wise on a computer, which I'm still kind of. But I'm a little dumbfounded. You've never had to like download anything ever?
No, you just
none of the documents somebody sent you about. Yes, the admin did it all, I guess. So
I don't know. Some people, like my mom struggles a lot with the computer and navigating files like that. Like she really has a hard time grasping it. So it might just kind of be the older generation that didn't grow up with computers that really have a hard time. Some of them just can't see it. You know, I tried to explain it like it's a filing cabinet.
Through school. Yeah, it's a filing cabinet. Yeah.
Let's relate it back to something that you grew up with. You have a filing cabinet. You pull it out. In the file, there's like a bunch of files and there's stuff inside those files. It's the same thing on your computer. And she's looking at me like,
like you're trying to read through the little divider that's holding the files. Open it first and pull it out.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. The other one is you think that they know by now about social media. And they really do not. In fact, they don't know the difference between sometimes photos and video or video and a 360 tour. And I don't know how they still are confused about this at this point, but they are, and I still have to explain it and why you would use one or the other. So if you think they got a handle on this, a lot of them still do not.
Yeah. And a lot of them don't realize how many assets we provide for them to post on social media. Like the marketing kit that comes when you're with HD Photo Hub, they've got tons of templates in there for reels and social posts. They're super basic, but agents love them. I literally had an agent call. He's a new client of ours last week, and he was wanting help with social media. And Casey was like, Rachel, he wants help with social media. I said, well, I can go into the office and sit down with him. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So we made the appointment. I went in, sat down with him, and we spent about an hour together. And I showed him basically all the templates. I walked him through HG Photo Hub. He's like, oh, I love these. I've used these. These are great. I've posted a few of these. And then I showed him, like, you click the expand button and there's 30 more. He was like, mind blown. Yeah, like he didn't even, which whatever, he probably hasn't explored much or just pushed all the buttons, but he's an older gentleman. But he also was needing help with posting, like, when you go on Instagram and you post and it posts directly to your Facebook too. He was like, how do I set that up? I'm like, well, let's go into your Instagram. So I literally took his phone and I posted a picture and it popped up and said, do you want this to go to Facebook? And I was like, yes, please.
Photos and video or
problem solved.
Video and
he just hadn't tried.
Tour.
He didn't know that he had to post on Instagram. He didn't realize that Instagram was only on your phone, that you can't post from your computer. That was like mind blowing to him. And he was just so thankful that I came in and just showed him these really basic things that to me are like, we all know this, but I honestly didn't realize for a while that you couldn't post on Instagram from your phone or from your computer.
Well, you can. You can only do certain things. You can't I think you can't do a reel. Like you could do a post. You can do a regular post. I forget. I haven't done it in a while because there's limitations to just do it on my phone.
Yeah. They definitely want you on your phone. They want you in the app. They don't want you on your desktop. So anywho, it was a great meeting. He was beyond thankful. He was like, please charge for your time. And I was like, I'm not charging you for my time. Just tell your friends about me.
Yeah. And I think we haven't connected this yet. We should connect the dots here that these things that these clients don't know are things that could be information that you could do on posts on social media or on a newsletter, or they're opportunities for further deeper connection that you're vested in, they believe in you and you help them. And it's just another connection to be a stronger, relationship for working with them more, or they potentially services like Heidi has done, my wife, teaching them basic stuff on social media just because they're very intimidated by it.
Right.
And just have somebody walk them through it, they feel so much better and so excited when they actually post something. They're like, thank you. I know I'm supposed to do this, but they're terrified. Yeah. But,
it can be so overwhelming to them too, because there's just so much to learn. And when they get on, they're like, they kind of panic. Like, I don't know how to do it.
Yes.
I'm just not going to do it at all.
And that's been Heidi's process too, is to not do any of the fancy stuff, to start with the most basic thing. Like you're just going to do a simple post and like add a title on it. And in the description, write something like done, it could be a photo even. And you know what I mean? Add music. But just to keep it super simple and not intimidating, start there. And then they can, when they're comfortable, they can build.
Yeah.
Yesterday I had somebody, this wasn't an agent. I was just at a reunion that's run by a church that I grew up helping out with the summer camp there and all that. And they do a reunion week. And we were just down there for the week and they were taking donations. And every time I was like, I don't have cash on me, right? And they're still doing, it's older clientele mostly, and they're still handing out cash. And I'm like, we need to set up a QR code, And they're like you were some kind of wizard. Do you know how to do that? You know what I mean? Like, you know how to make a QR code? Like, yeah, I could do that. They're like, what? So agents, I think we talk about it a lot. And we've mentioned on here that, use the QR code for your flyers and all that stuff to direct them to the website. But a lot of them, that QR code is some kind of mythical, magical thing still that they don't quite understand. So
and it's as easy as Canva. I mean, Canva can generate QR codes for you. It's super easy. So if you don't know, now you know. Realtor.
QR code.
One thing about that meeting that was interesting, which I caught myself, I said, hey, do you have a pad of paper? And he was like, yeah. So I got the pad of paper and I was like, all right, I want you to start posting in stories because he knows he needs to be on Instagram. He's falling behind his competition. He's like, I don't want to be on because I haven't posted anything since 2008. Legit. And I was like, 2008? Maybe it's 2016. It was a long time ago. I was like, okay, you're going to start in stories. And the reason is because they delete after 24 hours. So just start posting. I go, you look like you work out. So post, your first post of the day is going to be something relatable, something personal, something about you that your clientele, your viewer could look at and be like, oh, he motivated me to work out today. Or he's, I don't know, walking his dog. That's great. I have a dog, something people can relate to. Oh, she's pregnant. I'm pregnant. Things like that, right? I have kids. She has kids. So a relatable post. So I drew a little box. I'm like, post 1 for the day is going to be a relatable post. Post 2 is going to be something that you're doing for work. And then post number 3 is going to be like a testimonial, or you selling something, or asking a question to your audience. Like, you've kind of warmed them up, and now you're going to ask them for something on the 3rd post. And he was like, okay, so he's following me. And then I started talking more about like having more strategy within the way you post, and you can add all these stickers and polls, and his eyes glossed over. And I was like, just kidding. And I just pulled it back, and I was like, you know what? Let's not do any polls. Don't worry about that. Just post pictures for now. That'll be next meeting. He was like, okay. Because and to you and me, like, we do social media. We've been doing it for years. So that's really simple and easy for us, but not everyone. So starting slow with your agents, don't ever make them feel like they're stupid, or don't ever talk in a condescending tone to them. I always try to just treat them all like, there's no stupid question. There's no dumb questions. It's like, we all don't know certain things. So, and if you don't ask, you'll never find out the answer, and you'll never grow and learn. And if I can provide that value to them and they feel comfortable asking me that, they're more likely to ask more questions as things go on and inquire more and more, which just kind of strengthens our relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they get more savvy and they start using more of our assets that we have in our marketing kits and stuff like that, then they're going to want to use this more too, right? Yeah,
exactly.
Rach, can you imagine if you had to go back to a world pre-HD Photo Hub?
Oh, no way. No, HG Photo Hub literally saved my life during the COVID craze. With online ordering, their invoicing, the photo delivery, the Google integration, and just having everything on one platform, HG Photo Hub really does it all. And I cannot imagine my business without it.
Same. Pre-HD Photo Hub, I feel like I was just spending all my time chasing my own tail. It was horrible. The good news is our listeners get a special deal. If you enter the code STS, you're going to get 10 free full marketing kit deliveries. Remember, enter the code STS.
The other big problem that I get from agents a lot is, how do I put this video on social media and where it just plays automatically on the feed? They're like, when I put it on there, you have to push the play button to make the video play, and I want it to just automatically start playing when they're scrolling down your news feed. And that is the difference between copying and pasting a link onto Facebook versus uploading the MP4 file onto Facebook.
Yes.
That's
a big one.
Yeah. And how would you know that? I figured it out by just trial and error, because people, I don't even know.
A lot of them paste a link in there, and I try to tell them too, when you paste that link in there, Instagram doesn't, or social media doesn't like it as much as if you upload it directly. It's going to prefer it if you upload it directly, because it's kind of like their content.
It's not pulling you off of their platform to watch.
Exactly. And then also sometimes they put, like, we have an HD Photo Hub, a link so you can put that into MLS, but I still recommend that they download the video and upload it into their own YouTube channel. They should all have a YouTube channel. They should put all their videos in there, because why are you going to send traffic to me? You should be having that traffic on your account with your other videos and your other content, so that people are seeing everything you do. And when I tell them that, they're kind of like, and I think honestly that's valuable. They feel like that I'm not full of crap when I tell them that too. Like, oh, he actually is telling us something that doesn't benefit him at all. That
he's actually pulling away from himself, and
the traction should be going to you, not back to my site. So, and I think they kind of respect little things like that, where you're actually telling them the real deal and trying to help them. And then the other thing too is, honestly, those links, I believe, expire after a while in MLS.
It's so annoying. That's
going not. No, it's not good. I don't like that either. So, but YouTube's don't expire, so it makes more sense, and because that's one less call I'm going to get too, when they're like, "Why isn't it
working?" I see what you're saying. So you don't upload the HD Photo Hub links. You're having them upload the YouTube links on their own YouTube, and they live forever. That's smart, Neal. I didn't get that. Now I get. Things you don't know. Now you know.
Now you Realtor. Know. Realtor. Yeah. And, because, that's driving traffic to more of their content, and potentially their, they have their information about them there and stuff like that. So people should be going there if they're going anywhere away from, MLS. I've got another one for you.
Okay.
And that is end card. Do you put end cards on your videos at all?
Yes. We call them branded tiles. But yes.
Branded tiles. I call them end cards, but like nobody knows what I'm talking about. I'm like, even if I describe it, they're still a little confused. Like I'm like, at the end of the video, I want to throw up your contact information and like a photo of you.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? So I have to go like, okay, it's like a business card for the end of the video. And I would love one that's landscape and one that is vertical. And I get to send them like the dimensions because they at that point go, I've got somebody who's tech savvy that can do this. Because it always isn't them at that point, but they don't even understand how to explain it until I say that.
Right.
Business card is what I've found. Actually, they go, oh, just a business card for the video,
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, and like a PNG, I have to say a transparent logo for the video. They get that at that point. Then they're like, oh, I know what you're talking about now. But if I say like just PNG, they don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this on the podcast before, but like,
Yeah.
you got to keep it really simple or you're going to lose people. So whenever you're talking about like techie stuff or like anything with photo video that they might not know because they don't care, they're not into that. Like when you start talking your gear and your lenses and blah, blah, and you go into like this deep detail, they've completely stopped listening to you, most likely.
They
And
power
always
down and tune out.
passed over. Yeah. They're like, you confuse, you'll lose. So keep
Robot
it
recharging.
keep it super simple and only tell them exactly what they need to know and really dumb it down if you can, and that'll help them to understand. Just don't overwhelm them with photography jargon and big stuff that they don't really care to know anyway. They've got so much going on.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, and then the last one that I can think of right now is they still I have two. I think I already mentioned it, but like a slideshow versus a walkthrough video. I have to explain that.
That's so confusing.
A lot of them don't even see the difference if they see a slideshow until they see the walkthrough video. Then they go, oh, I see it's better. But they don't quite understand still that this is a photo that's just made to move. But nobody was actually walking through the property filming it. And I try to say it's just automatically generated from a still photo. They just add some movement to it. Versus we go through the house a whole nother time and film it moving from room to room, really connecting the spaces so you flow from one space to the other. Then they start to understand when I explain it like that. But the last one I wanted to say is they still don't. Even yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I had somebody, I was confirming services because they'd never booked a vertical reel with me before. They're always just like a photo type person. And I was like, hey, just wanted to double check. This is what you meant to do. You have a vertical reel that you booked. And they're like, the text was, what's a vertical reel?
Oh boy.
And they, after explaining it, they wanted to keep it. But they were like, yeah, I think I want to pull out all the stops on this one. But they still didn't. I still have to explain what's the difference between landscape and vertical and what the use case might be. And I have to explain, like, do you want to put this video on MLS? Because then you probably want a landscape for that. Or do you, what's your main social media that you use? Are you a big Instagram, or are you a big TikTok, or are you a big Facebook? If they're mostly like slightly older demographic, they're usually Facebook and they're usually landscape. That's all they really deal with. I just say, yep, you're good with landscape and it'll go on MLS. And if they're a mixture, I still got to kind of iron it out a little bit. And then one of our packages basically gives them both. So that makes it a little simple. I'm like, hey, it has a landscape version. You could put that one on Facebook and you could put it on MLS. And then we pull another version out of that you could throw on social media and just look like you're doing it all,
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
That's a big one. There was one more I wanted to talk about. You would think it would be common sense to have the house ready to go. And to have the garbage cans out of the way and the car moved and the homeowner's gone and the pets out of the way and the blinds up and all that. But it's not. It's something you kind of have to train your clients on. Now, guys, seriously, everything we're mentioning is social media content. Everything we've mentioned in this episode is social media content, educational content that you can be putting out, your newsletter, like Neal said. So take notes of this. But like, I've made reels where it's like, the signpost is installed in the front when I get there, and it's like, every photographer's worst nightmare, And people were like, oh, oops, that was me, sorry. And it's like they don't even realize, they don't realize that, okay, now I got to figure out how to edit that out or work around it, and it's annoying. It's like, dang it.
Yeah. Seasoned realtors that I work with still will park the other side of the street in front of the house, like that's safe. And I'm like, and I have to go. Once I go inside, I'm going to shoot out towards the windows to show the windows. And what do you think I'm going to see? And they're like, oh, I have to move my car, don't I? Just because they're only thinking about when you're facing the house that it's out of shot behind you. And not thinking about once I'm inside and doing video and stuff that we're staring at cars. I find that funny. Yeah. Same thing with toothbrushes, like those kinds of things, like a lot. That's one of the big ones. Stuff in the shower. And stuff on the sink in the bathroom are the biggest ones that I walk in like, yeah, we probably want to tuck away like the toothbrushes and the shampoo bottles in your nice shower. That's one of the big ones that's always left behind. And I'm like, I find that funny that they don't think of that. They're like, yeah, everything's good. Because for my clients, I go, hey, have you already walked through? Does everything look good? They're like, yeah, it looks really good. I'm like, okay, let me just double check. And then I see that stuff every time,
Great.
And I'm like, Yep. Take it down, put it away, put it under the cabinets. Okay. So yeah, funny things you'd think that they would have noticed at this point don't end up in the final photos,
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
So mention it in your little tutorials or your outdoor videos, or for sure your newsletter. And I guess I still got homework to do for my newsletter for that. That's still one of the things I haven't focused on yet.
Well, you can do it on Tip Tuesday, right? You could do it random story post too. You don't have to make it a big elaborate post. It could just be like, hey, I got a tip for the day, nothing fancy.
Yeah, and it could be a story too. It doesn't even have to be real. It could be something. I've done that for the car out front. I've done that in stories, and it just goes away in a day. But
yeah. Yep. I always find it funny when I do it after an experience with an agent. I feel a little guilty. I'm like, I should wait like a week and then do it, because I know I'm talking about them. Like, I love you, but next time, please don't do that. I made a post today for Tip Tuesday, and it was like, have the home ready, blinds open, lights on. Just makes our jobs easier. A lot of times we have multiple jobs in a day, so it just keeps us moving along seamlessly, and we can be more creative and in a good headspace and blah, blah, blah. And then I had a new client that booked me from social media. Her and I were talking yesterday, and her shoot's tomorrow, and she messaged me on Instagram because she saw my story, and she was like, I will be sure to do all of this for you tomorrow. And I was like, it's her very first listing.
Oh, that's amazing.
She's brand new. So maybe she actually learned something, because maybe she didn't know all that.
She didn't know. And doesn't she feel better to have known ahead of time than to be embarrassed like, I didn't know and have to do all that, So yeah.
Yeah. So that little education, people appreciate it.
Yeah,
sometimes it feels silly to me to still be posting that stuff. I'm like, do I really have to say this again? Like, how many times have I said this? But there's always new people following you, new people out there that need to hear it. So
I think so many people don't see our stuff. How many out of all your followers see each of your posts? I bet it's only like a tenth of them, if that.
I think it's like 6%. See.
Oh, really?
It's very low. Yeah, it's very low. So you could repost it like 20 times, then maybe everyone would see it.
Yeah.
If it's different people every time.
And that one person will be like, is she talking to me? Because I've seen it 10 times. It's like the only person.
She's really hammering this home. Who keeps doing this to her?
Who's doing this?
She's mad. She's really bitter about this one. Okay.
Those are the ones I top of my head right now anyhow. But
we wrote a couple down and then just came up with a couple, on the fly. But yeah, I think that's a good list of things that, if you don't know, now you know. Realtor. Yeah.
Realtor.
That's the title of the podcast, by the way. Yeah. That's a great title. I wrote that down.
You don't know, now you know, Realtor.
Awesome. Cool. Well, it's been real. It feels like it was just a quick, short and sweet little episode.
Yeah. Love it. It's great.
Good stuff. Hope you guys got something out of it, and go be awesome. Have fun this week.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye, guys.